Have you ever wondered who built the very first civilization on Earth? Long before famous empires like Rome, Greece, or Egypt reached their peak, a group of people living between two great rivers changed human history forever. They invented cities, writing, laws, and many of the ideas we still use today. This is the story of the world's first civilization. Around 6,000 years ago, in a region called Mesopotamia, located between the Tigris and Euphrates rivers in present-day Iraq, small farming villages slowly grew into large cities. The rich soil and regular flooding made farming possible, allowing people to grow enough food to support larger populations. As food became more plentiful, not everyone had to farm. Some people became builders, merchants, priests, soldiers, and craftsmen. This division of labor helped society become more organized and more advanced than ever before. One of the earliest and most important civilizations was the Sumerian civilization. The Sumerians built impressive city-states such as Ur, Uruk, Eridu, and Lagash. Each city had its own ruler, government, temples, and army. The city of Uruk became one of the largest cities in the ancient world. Historians believe it may have had tens of thousands of people living within its walls. For that time, it was an incredible achievement. At the center of every Sumerian city stood a massive temple called a ziggurat. These giant stepped structures were built to honor the gods. People believed their gods controlled everything, from the weather to successful harvests. Religion shaped nearly every part of daily life. Priests held great power because people believed they could communicate with the gods. Festivals, ceremonies, and offerings were common throughout the year. One of the Sumerians' greatest achievements was the invention of writing. Around 3200 BC, they created cuneiform, a writing system made by pressing wedge-shaped symbols into soft clay tablets. At first, writing was used to keep track of crops, trade, and taxes. Over time, it evolved into a way to record stories, laws, business deals, mathematics, and historical events. Without writing, much of human history would have been lost. The invention of writing allowed knowledge to be passed from one generation to another instead of relying only on memory. The Sumerians also made important advances in mathematics. They developed a base 60-number system, which is why today we still divide an hour into 60 minutes and a circle into 360 degrees. They carefully studied the stars and planets, creating some of the earliest forms of astronomy. Their observations helped them create calendars and predict seasonal changes important for farming. Agriculture remained the foundation of their civilization. Farmers built complex irrigation canals that carried water from the rivers to dry fields. These engineering projects allowed crops to grow even during dry seasons. Because of successful farming, trade expanded rapidly. Merchants traveled across Mesopotamia and beyond, exchanging grain, wool, pottery, metals, precious stones, and timber with distant regions. Trade introduced new ideas, technologies, and materials to different cultures, helping civilizations grow even faster. The Sumerians also invented the wheel, one of the most important inventions in history. While early wheels were first used for pottery, they were later adapted for carts, making transportation and trade much more efficient. Metalworking improved as craftsmen learned to work with copper and later bronze. Stronger tools and weapons gave cities advantages in farming, construction, and warfare. Life in the cities was not always peaceful. City-states often competed for land, water, and power. Wars between neighboring cities were common, and rulers frequently fought to expand their territories. One famous ruler was Gilgamesh, the legendary king of Uruk. His adventures were recorded in the Epic of Gilgamesh, one of the oldest surviving works of literature in human history. The story explores friendship, courage, loss, and humanity's search for immortality. Even thousands of years later, people continue to study this remarkable ancient tale. As centuries passed, new empires rose within Mesopotamia. One of the most influential was the Akkadian Empire, founded by Sargon the Great around 2334 BC. Sargon united many Sumerian city-states under one government, creating what many historians consider the world's first empire. His success inspired future rulers across history. Later came the Babylonian Empire, led by King Hammurabi. He became famous for creating one of the earliest written law codes, known as the Code of Hammurabi. The laws covered crimes, trade, property, marriage, and daily life. Although some punishments were harsh by modern standards, the code represented an important step toward organized legal systems. The civilizations of Mesopotamia influenced nearly every civilization that followed. Their ideas spread across the Middle East and eventually reached other parts of the ancient world. While Mesopotamia is often called the cradle of civilization, it was not the only early civilization. Ancient Egypt grew along the Nile River. The Indus Valley civilization flourished in present-day Pakistan and India. Ancient China developed along the Yellow River. Each civilization made unique contributions to humanity, but Mesopotamia holds a special place because many of the earliest examples of cities, writing, government, mathematics, and organized society first appeared there. Archaeologists continue discovering clay tablets, temples, tools, and ancient buildings buried beneath the deserts of Iraq. Every new discovery helps us better understand how the first civilizations lived thousands of years ago. It's amazing to think that ideas created over 5,000 years ago still affect our lives today. The clocks we use, written language, legal systems, cities, trade, and even organized government all have roots stretching back to these ancient people. Without the achievements of the first civilization, the modern world would look completely different. Their curiosity, innovation, and determination laid the foundation for human progress. The story of the first civilization reminds us that every great achievement begins with small ideas, hard work, and cooperation. From simple farming villages grew cities that changed history forever. Thousands of years have passed, but the legacy of Mesopotamia continues to shape our world in ways most people never realize. If you enjoyed learning about the first civilization on Earth, don't forget to like this video, subscribe to the channel, and turn on notifications for more amazing history stories. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.